Hello, I'm here with Deborah Torres Patel, and so excited you're joining me. Deborah is just a wonderful friend, a Hall of Fame speaker. She's coached tens of thousands of executives all over the world in 82 countries on 6 continents. She has her book, Speak Like a Superstar, Forbes book, coming out later this year. And so excited to dig in a little bit on the speaking advice from Deborah. So thanks so much for joining us, Deborah.
No, thanks, Caroline. It's great to be with you.
Wonderful. So tell me, you wrote the book on Speak Like a Superstar. Tell us the basic principle.
Well, I'd say the basic principle would be that anybody can speak like a superstar with the right systems, the right teacher, following the right methods. And so the book is designed to really look at how anyone can communicate with credibility, charisma, and confidence. So definitely, as you know, in today's day and age, the world is desperate for leaders with the skills and status and expertise to step up, to build bridges of peace, to make the world a better place in very challenging times that we live in. So speaking is a great way to take the microphone, step into the spotlight, raise your voice, and get your message out there. And my approach is always, one should speak to serve. And certainly I see, and there's an element in the book where, and I use people like Martin Luther King and Oprah Winfrey. They're quite famous. I also talk about Richard Branson and how he dealt with fear. And I also look at people that are not famous at all, that are really highly paid speakers, that have great businesses, that help to grow their business, and they make a massive impact in the world through speaking in front of groups. So that's what it's about. And then I have a 4-step proven system that I call my superstar communication system. And we look about, those pillars of what it takes to step up, to speak up, to stand out as a leader. And whether that's in your company, whether that's in your industry, your community, whatever cause you want to lend your voice to. And of course, obviously in the book with it, Speaking Like a Superstar, we have to address how to deliver a powerful presentation, right, how to generate that significant impact or that hunger to find out more, and to make it easy for your audience to take that elegant next best step, whatever it is that you'd like to recommend that they do.
Great. And I know, Deborah, I mean, you are a prolific speaker yourself, but you also coached a lot of executives and speakers, and some are professional speakers that do this for a living, but others are also, they're business people who want to use speaking as a marketing platform to really drive leads to the business. What insight, like what would be your top #1 piece of insight into the speaking business for those people who really want to speak as a marketing platform to grow their business?
Let's see. Well, first of all, you need to be really clear about what part of your business you want to do, and be very clear about what that message is. Let's say you want to also stand out from other people, and you want to have people take action in some way, and ideally help them to transform something. What a business does is it solves problems for people. So when we look at using speaking to talk about that, then I see so many people will get up on platforms and they will just talk about the benefits, but they never tell us about the problems. And so this is the #1 C that I wouldn't say it's an insight, but I definitely say it's something that's missing for so many people. I guess it could be termed an insight in that way, because it is so obvious that when somebody goes to say yes to your business, that it's based on a problem that they're having. And all businesses solve problems, but many times people, when they get up to speak, they just talk about the good stuff and they don't really go into the problem. So that's definitely something that I see that's missing. And when people can do that, then you have your audience that, hello, like they say in that movie, you really grab people and you're speaking to your audience's concerns. So the more you can speak to your audience's concerns, the more you can get inside their heads, the more effective you are as a speaker. So it's not about being perfect. It's actually about having a great connection. I have this sound bite that I say all the time. It's not about perfection. It's about connection. And so, and you know, when you look at a leader getting up on a platform, everything is amplified. So it also means that your insecurities are amplified. Yes. So people sometimes, if they're looking at having a breakthrough in the area of speaking, whether if they're beginning, it might be taking a big step. If they're in the middle, it might be getting to that next level. If somebody's really already an extraordinary person, it would be really how to have that maximum impact. And that's based on, you know, sharing your message in a succinct and concise way, in a way that speaks to your audience's concerns and makes it easy to take the next step. So I think there's a common misconception that people think they should be born a great speaker, and they're not. It's a learnable skill. You know, nobody gets to world class at anything without investing time, without investing energy, without investing resources. And I always say it takes many masters to make a masterpiece. So if people want to reach an exceptional level at speaking, it is by far you're going to be your most profitable skill and is the most leveraged, because you're speaking one to many. And one of the key insights is to really have that one-to-one conversation happen in front of many people.
Yeah.
And many times people are just very natural in doing that, but then when they get up on a stage, they're not as natural. So that's more about how people approach the speaking business. The speaking business in itself is, you know, it has its ups and downs all the time. But when you're a thought leader, when you have something to share, and when you can solve people's problems or you know, uplift humanity in some way, to lead, teach, and inspire people, you're always going to be an in-demand speaker, as long as, you know, you have to work with, again, as I said earlier, the right coach, have the right systems, but these things are very, very learnable. It's not difficult. It's just one step at a time, just like if you were going to learn to play golf or master any new skill.
Sure. I love that. And I just want to point out and shine a light on one of the things you said, because it is amazing to me how many speakers I see get up there who just immediately jump to the solutions. And so I think you're so right in that the whole beginning is really connecting with the problem, because of course the speaker's been working on it so much, just like even in your business, right? You've been working on it so much that you just can immediately jump to the solution. And so to just know that the very beginning is about, you know, getting their heads nodding. I love, one of the best things I've ever learned from you is your format of slap, hug, and to really slap the audience with some pain and slap them again and then hug them with the solution. Right. And I think that's really great. It's something I've taken from you. So tell me, Deborah, I know that you'll be one of the key people at the ForbesSpeakers Symposium in New York, June 10th and 11th. And we did the symposium last year together, so I'm really excited to do it again. Tell me, what's the number one thing you're most excited about? I know you'll be doing several sessions with people, but what is the number one thing you're probably most excited about to really pass on and teach the people in attendance?
Well, you know, what I want people to walk away with is having either some sort of presentation, whether that is a presentation they've been working on a while and refining it, maybe adding a little bit of slap, hug, hug there, maybe refining their story, increasing their ability to captivate a room or to command attention. But all of that should be around a talk, or, you know, some format that is going to generate leads, traffic, and sales to your business, using public speaking as a means to be able to do that. And so what I'm most excited about is that people will have the opportunity to walk away with at least a draft. So if somebody's new and starting out and they don't really have anything, then it's an opportunity for them to use a very simple system to build a presentation, put a story in it, and then make that story come to life. If somebody is more sophisticated and is perhaps doing a lot of presentations, then we're going to look to take that to the next level, how we might add more wow factor, how we might make you stand out more, and if somebody is already really extraordinary, then it's about how do we amplify that? How do we, I mean, we still might do some little micro adjustments, but how do we really look at, and you know, obviously it's a Forbes event, so how do we look at that Forbes platform and see, or ask the question, you know, is this a way for me to really position myself and elevate my message and my brand to a whole new level? So I'm all about going away with something. So from my point of view, I know I could turn around and ask you that same question, right? So that's what I want people to take away. And at least, even if they haven't built confidence in it yet, at least they know what steps they need to take. And there's a foundation there for them to work with, whether they choose to work with someone like me, someone else, or whether they might even be interested in the opportunity of looking at the possibility of being a Forbes speaker if they meet the requirements.
Wonderful. Awesome, Deborah. Well, I'm so excited to have you come to this side of the pond. You're based in Singapore, so we're excited to have you in New York. And yeah, anyone, if you'd like to join us, I would say the event is really geared toward business people who want to use speaking as a marketing platform to generate leads for the business. We're going to do a very immersive, deep dive, hands-on workshop, as Deborah said, and really leave with some significant outputs. So you can register on the link below in the email. We're limiting it to 25 people. It's in New York on Forbes on 5th in June 10th and 11th. And so hopefully we will see you there. Thanks, Deborah, so much.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Thank you. See you in New York.